Okay, welcome. We wait a couple of seconds that everybody enter.
Hello.
Hi, hello, welcome. We are going. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, hello. Let's wait a few seconds that everybody is entering. Hi.
Hello there. How are you all?
Hello. Okay. A couple of seconds that there are few people still entering. Okay. So, welcome and thanks for your interest in our master course. The program today, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so the idea today is I, together with Professor Zweiner, will shortly introduce the course. Then we have two former students. One is now a PhD student, and the other one is now a UX designer. And so they will say something about their experience with our master and their experience after our master. And then we will leave some time for questions. Okay. So, this master course is offered between two departments at the University of Trento, the Department of Psychology and Cognitive Science, which is the main proponent of this course, and the Department of Information Engineering and Computer Science. As you know, human-computer interaction is a branch of computer science traditionally, but the focus on this part of computer science is on the design, evaluation, and implementation of digital technologies for human use. But traditionally, since the beginning, since the 1980s, more or less, it is a highly interdisciplinary field between computer science, but also psychology, sociology, and design. In our department, in our master, we decided to focus mostly on these aspects related to cognitive science in general, and in particular to frame the perspective of human-computer interaction on understanding the cognition, the individual part, but also the social aspects of interacting with technology. So our purpose is to train this new generation of professionals and researchers in order to design new technology, taking into consideration the complexity of human cognition, behavior, and so on. And in order to take this into consideration in order to design, to do new computing artifacts and technologies. What we want to do is to provide a starting point for both academic research and also for doing professional, for working. And this is why we ask two of our former students that took these two different careers to tell us, to tell you about their experience. So what we want in our master is that you understand that human-computer interaction is also an academic discipline, not just only UX design. But of course, many of our students choose the career of UX designer. But please expect that as a university master, you will be required to understand, to get knowledge on solid methodological basis of human-computer interaction. Our course is offered in conjunction between two departments. As I told you, the Department of Cognitive Science and the Department of Computer Science. And they are in two different cities, let's say. One is the main city, and the other one is a smaller town. There are 15 minutes apart by train, so it's relatively easy. And starting from next year, we also have a collaboration with the Department of Economics and the Department of and Sociology. And so the idea is that you will be running away around the area of Trento. But I think that this is an added value because you can have access to facilities in both labs and both departments, and also in perspective also in 4 departments. I mean, mainly of these 2, but and so in the teaching schedule, we will consider this distance. So we will try to put your schedule for the computer and elective courses in different days, so you don't have to travel in the same day between the 2 towns. But take these 2 towns, say this commuting as an opportunity. We also have a joint lab and an agreement with a very large research center, a relatively large research center, which is called Fondazione Bruno Kessler. It is around 600 researchers in different disciplines, mostly on computer science and related, artificial intelligence, machine learning, also microelectronics. And some of our students actually have their internship and thesis in Fondazione Bruno Kessler, but of course other can do thesis and internship as well. But again, this is another opportunity, especially if you're interested in research and in innovation. So how our course is organized. So we have a number of compulsory courses and a number of elective courses, as all the other masters. In particular, we have a number of core human-computer interaction courses. At the beginning, you will be required to choose between a bridging HCI to psychology, if you come from a technical background, and bridging HCI to computer science, if you're coming from psychology or sociology or other backgrounds. And in these courses, the idea is that you can get, you acquire the basic of the, either psychology or computer science. Of course, we don't ask you to take the entire bachelor in computer science if you come from psychology and vice versa. But we think that because of the frame, the perspective of our master, you should take a little bit of understanding of the other disciplines. Say there is no sound. You just okay.
No, sir, we hear you properly.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
we hear you properly.
Okay, so please, the person that do not have sound, try to get, and then this is recorded, so we can share then the recording. Yeah, I say, the point is these bridging 2 courses are aligned. The idea is that you are divided in 2 groups, but the 2 groups can meet during the semester in order to try to get understanding of each other. This highly interdisciplinarity is a value that we want to bring to the course, but also it's one aspect of difficulty in our course. So you should be prepared to face the other world, whatever you come from, you have to get an understanding of the other one. But we think that this is a very good opportunity for improving yourself. Then we have the other basic courses. We have cognitive ergonomics, participatory design, prototyping, epistemology, and ethics. We think that is very important today for designers. And then this is the compulsory courses are the one that you have to take. And then as the core HCI, we have some elective, like decision making, and nudging, human language technologies, language and social cognition, that are some aspects that can be interesting if you want to deepen in some aspects of these disciplines. Then as I told you, we have a strong focus on methodology, and you are required to take qualitative and quantitative methodology. But these 2 courses are aligned on a project base with the courses of participatory design for qualitative methodology and cognitive ergonomics for the quantitative methodology, so that you can experience together the methodological aspects and of qualitative and quantitative analysis, and the techniques of participatory and ergonomics in a project-based way. And then we have visual brain and design, which is an introduction to neuroscience, targeted for UX designer, for people interested in HCI and UX design. And then from this year, we have an electives that brings you, but we will encourage you to take it, even if it is an electives, to introduce you to the world of business, to innovation from the point of view of business analysis and the basis of entrepreneurship. And then we have two big areas that one is on designing for social interaction, and the other one is multimodality, let's say. The first one is, the second one is more technical. It requires understanding of computer science, also capability of programming, of coding, let's say. The other much less. So you are required to take one compulsory course in both. In particular, you are required to take social interaction, which is an introduction to social psychology, again, targeted for people interested in human-computer interaction. And the other is affective computing, which is basically an introduction to artificial intelligence, but again, targeted from the point of view of people interested in human-computer interaction and not in machine learning in general. And then you can choose, depending how you choose your elective, you can deepen one or the other, or a little bit to try to interact between the two. And we have a design for social inclusion, which is an introduction to some aspects of sociology, again, targeted on people interested in this discipline. Educational technology, as the name tells everything. On the multimodality aspects, you have some elective courses, specifically on computational linguistics and language-based interaction, which now with ChatGPT and similar are very, very fashionable, but there is a lot of other things to design around that. Multisensory interaction, which has to do with wearable computers, virtual reality, and other things, and cognitive neuroscience and technology. We are still discussing, but we will have another electives next year about extended virtual and extended reality. Again, on the perspective of cognitive aspects of the mind, but also a little bit. We are building a reasonable, interesting, let's say, a reasonable well-equipped new laboratory on virtual reality here in the department. Then, as all the master courses in Italy, you will have 12 credits that are free for you to choose as we want. You know the motto is free as in free of speech and not as in free beer. So it's not something that is to take lightly. But it's something that it's for you to try to define, to personalize your paths, your learning paths. So you can take the other electives in the program. So the one that you didn't choose, you have other two possibilities more. Or you can choose other courses in the Department of Cognitive Science or Computer Science. So whatever in the other masters you can choose. Usually our courses at the master are 6 credits, so you can usually choose 2. You can also choose from any other course in the university, but of course we have to discuss about that. But if you're interested, for example, in some course at the law department because of the privacy and other aspects in and ethics, it's something we can discuss. Or you can take an individual research project, and we will talk in a minute. So it's a very great opportunity. I mean, all the masters in Italy have the same opportunity, but please, if you come from other countries, consider you probably are not used to this schema, take it seriously, and in case we can discuss how to choose these 12 credits. So we say the 6 credits, then you also have to take an internship and do a thesis. We organize our master in a way that this is a 2-year master, so we have 4 semesters. The first 3 semesters are full of courses. The 4th, the last semester, is completely free, if you're not late with your exams, is completely free for internship and thesis. And the internship can be done in a company, whatever you want, you can choose whatever you want, or in a research lab, either at the University of Trento or at the Fondazione Bruno Kessler laboratories. And we suggested that you will go to do an internship in a company if you're interested in being a professional user experience designer, or to stay at the University of Fondazione Bruno Kessler if you're interested in research. If you are unsure what to choose between the two, we can offer you this project work. Project work is a 6-credit research project that you discuss individually with a professor in the master, and that is basically a project that you want to do. Okay? It has to do a part of learning, individual learning, supervised by this professor, and a part of something practical to build. Okay? And this is a good introduction to the research laboratories in order for you then to choose whether to want to do an internship at the university or if you prefer to go to a company. So in these 6 credits of the project work are part of the 12 free credits. So you have 18 credits, so it means 450 hours for the internship. That is, again, it's another individual project that you can do at the university of a company. And then you have other 18 credits to finalize your research project for the thesis. In order to do these 2 things, internship and thesis, you can take the summer, of course, between the 2 years, but you are, it is scheduled for you to have the 4th semester completely free. Of course, if you're not late with your exams, this is up to you. Okay, so I leave the word to Professor Zweiner for the rest of the presentation, and then we can open the floor for comments.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Massimo, thank you. So this is just, we'll quickly show you 2 charts that show how the master history has been going in terms of applications and enrollment. As you see, we have EU. Our classes are composed of EU and non-EU applicants. They are more or less balanced across the years, but what you see from this slide is that the applications numbers have been constantly growing over the years. Massimo, posso chiederti di andare avanti? Scusami. Yes, this is the next cohort is going to be our 10th cohort, 10th year, and as you can see here, we have been steadily growing over the past years of our master. So if you're interested in applying, please devote enough attention to preparing your documents that are requested for the application, because most of you will fit in the category of non-EU, but I mean, numbers tell a clear story. It will be about 15 people, basically, that will be 15 or slightly more that will be selected for the next cohort of students. Puoi andare avanti l'ultima slide? Ecco. One other thing that I would like to talk to you about is with reference to what Professor Tancanaro has told you with regards to the 4th semester. So the 4th semester, if you are okay with your exams, it's the semester in which you have to do your internship and your thesis. Now, the University of Trento has got a lot of exchange programs to which you can apply. These exchange programs are of a different nature. So you can move within Europe with what it's called the Erasmus program. We have the example of two Erasmus partners with whom we exchange HCI students. So these are two venues that are specific for HCI students, but if you browse the list in the web page that I have put below, you will see that there are many other venues that the department can actually give you the possibility to apply for. The fact that this master it's an interdepartmental master between the Department of Psychology and Cognitive Sciences and Computer Sciences, which it's called DISI, and it's another department at the University of Trento. Technically, the students can apply for positions that are shared, that are present in these two departments. So when you log on this website that I have put in here, you can look at the different typologies of movement. So you'll have the Erasmus exchange agreements, the bilateral agreements, which means movement out of the EU zone. So going for a period of study to specific universities with which our university has got bilateral agreements. Plus, there are possibilities for applying for scholarships in order to do your internship or your thesis abroad. Each of these four categories is, I think, very clearly explained in the page that I have mentioned. The other thing that I can tell you is that a lot of our students go abroad. So Trento is a very well-connected university, and you will, in case you are selected for our master, you will have ample possibilities of experiencing study, research, internship, and thesis writing abroad. There's one last slide, I think. Massimo, can I ask you to go on the, yes, that's the first of all, the address to which you should send all the inquiries that you have, plus the web page that I'm confident you already know for the master. I guess that's it. Should we give the floor to Martina and maybe questions, should we take them now or later?
If it is something quick, otherwise I will pass the testimonial. Okay. Okay, the program is not part of the EAT ACID, Human Computer Interaction Design. We offer some courses for that master, so some of the students can, the students of EAT can take some of our courses, but they are two different things. Okay, let's before talking about the backgrounds of students, let us give the floor to our former students. So I will leave the floor to Martina Vincoli, which is now a PhD student. I will leave the Martina.
Okay. Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank Professor Zancanaro for inviting me. I will briefly introduce myself and my academic path, and then I will tell you maybe a bit more about my experience with the Master in HCI. So, as Professor Zancanaro said, my name is Martina Vincoli. I am a former HCI student. I graduated in 2023. And I'm currently a PhD student in ATH Zurich in Switzerland. And I'm doing a project on learning science, but with a heavy, I would say, HCI perspective, because I will be working with chatbots and how students interact with chatbots for learning specific things. When at first I was asked to talk with you guys today, I started thinking back about my master years, and well, I'm very fond of those memories, first of all. It was a very great experience for me. because I realized that maybe during the master years, you're very busy, of course, because you have a lot of classes, you have stressful days, maybe you are maybe adapting to a new town. There are a lot of things happening. And maybe you don't realize how useful some things that you're doing are. But well, as soon as I started applying the things I learned during the classes, I realized how strong of a base they gave it to me. For example, well, both for my thesis and internship that I conducted, as Professor Weiner mentioned, I conducted abroad in Germany. I started using basically all the theoretical concepts I learned during the classes in qualitative and quantitative research. And these courses are very grounded in theory, and they're also very practical. Like, I really appreciate how this master mixes not only as was mentioned before, on the interdisciplinary approach, but also there is a good balance between theoretical knowledge that is given to you and many opportunities to put into practice and to develop projects and to develop your own ideas in the various assignments or tasks that you have to do for the classes. Also the thing that stuck with me also, and it was extremely helpful for me, is the availability and the kindness of all professors I met throughout the master. I think all of them have very deep both professional experience or academic experience, or both of them, and I could really learn a lot from their classes and from their also advices that I got from them. And they really helped me, for example, in managing to get a PhD. It was not easy. It involved many applications. But it was also kind of fun, maybe looking at it now, maybe in the moment, not really fun. But yeah, I'm very grateful. For example, also I will try to give you more like practical examples because I think maybe they're more useful for you. Before starting my PhD, I did an internship in APFL in Lausanne, also Switzerland, and there I was working as I would say maybe UX researcher. It was a bit of a mixed role, but for example, I think most of the things I did, I based on the qualitative research methodology class I had. Like, I always found myself looking back also at the material I used, trying to connect the things. So I was very grateful for that. And one thing that I still recognize now is that I still make use of the interdisciplinary approach that was mentioned before. And also people pointed out to me, like other colleagues, both here in Lausanne and in Germany, pointed out to me like that it was a remarkable thing in my approach to projects and to things. This interdisciplinary aspect is not only given by the structure of the master, I would say, but also from how diverse the class ends up to be, thanks to the focus of having both EU and non-EU students. I think that's a great balance, and also thanks to the fact that people will come from very different backgrounds, because I came from computer science, but there was people from psychology, from philosophy, from engineering, economics, and in the group projects, it was very clear that we were coming from different things, and sometimes it was hard to communicate with each other. But then overcoming those difficulties and trying to understand each other's point of view was very, very useful. And it's very useful, I would say. I think it's useful for me now in the academic world, but I think also Shiva could say probably also in the outside of academic world is still useful to learn how to collaborate with different people. And yeah, on a last note also, like yes, I want to remark, like highlight again the very great collaborations that University of Trento has with other universities in other countries. Because for me it was very useful because, for example, I did the educational technology class in Trento and I found myself very passionate about it. And so I pursued it by going to Germany to study educational technology in Saarbrücken. And then it enabled me also to get a learning science, like get to be admitted to a learning science PhD program. And also, yeah, the theoretical knowledge that is provided, it's also very good. And I learned a lot. And I think that both the classes and the professor suggestions helped me in having already currently have 2 submissions for a journal paper and a conference paper based on my master thesis and work that I did on doing the building of the master thesis. So I think it's I think this program is quite unique on its own. It's very different from others that you could find. But I think it taught me a lot. And if you're passionate about bridging computer science and human aspects, it's a great choice. I don't think you would regret it. Also, on a last side note, Trento is a very beautiful city, and so is Rovereto. So I highly recommend. I miss them so much, and I really hope I can be back there very soon. Yeah, and I think that's all. If you have any questions, of course, I'm happy to answer. I hope that was a not too confusing and introduction. And I think I can leave the word to Shiva.
Yeah, actually, there was something that I have a question for you. So
Okay.
maybe we can take it immediately, then we leave the floor to Shiva.
Yeah. What was the question?
Zain, you have a question for Martina, you said.
Oh, okay.
But there is no, I mean, you just said that
Yeah, okay.
he or she
Yeah.
has a question.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, thank
first-
you, Massimo. I had a question for Martina. So coming from an HCI background, I'm also aiming for a PhD, and like as you told, you took the path, so it's kind of the similar path as I want to take. So I just wanted to ask, like, how you managed internships and research projects, and how kind of you put the you talk about the journals and conference papers. So like I have been trying in my bachelor's thesis as well. So how did you manage between internships and research that led you to the path to ETH Zurich gets? Because that's again a big place for a lot of people. So if you can shed some light on that.
Yeah, sure. I will try to quickly reply to this. Well, thank you for the question, first of all. So I think there are 2 main aspects, I would say. One is, I would be very honest, like just not having a lot of shame and just like asking around, like to contact professors, contact universities or research groups. I don't know for sure, but I have the feeling until now that professors are usually happy to share like their knowledge, and also if they're working on a project, they're very happy to share with you that. And second of all, also the professors helped me a lot. Like I think as soon as I asked some professors if they have availability for reference letters or things like this, or suggestions on which university to contact or what path to follow, they were always very happy to help me. And so I want to take this opportunity also to thank you again. Yeah, and also like take any opportunity you have. Like for example, I remember from the different assignments, you can start to learn, for example, how to do correctly like citations, how to correctly start to look into literature. Or, for example, what I did, I started with the Erasmus semester in Germany, and then I found a project and a professor that interested me, and so I started talking with him, and then we decided to work on a thesis, and then we understood how we discussed and decided how to develop from the thesis to papers, and so on different aspects of it, because so yeah, maybe it's not super practical advice, but just not be, because I talk with other people and they were like, yeah, but I don't know if to text the professor because maybe
Yeah, I think that
maybe they don't reply to you, that or they don't have time, but that's the worst that can happen, I
I
would
think
say.
that the idea of propose yourself and be open are
Yeah.
two good advices on this respect. Okay, thank you, Martina. I will leave the floor to Shiva.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So hello everyone, and thank you, Professor Zancanaro, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. I don't know what more to say. I think whatever things that I had written in my notes to say, Martina already covered all of them, so I have nothing left. But yeah, I could say a few things. I think studying the masters in HCI in Trento was one of my first experiences to come abroad and to study in a classroom full of people with diverse backgrounds and from different cultures and countries. So that was uh, because when we were doing projects, people could bring in new perspectives relevant to their own backgrounds. Um, like one of the projects that I was doing in educational technology, there was a student from computer science, from philosophy, from psychology. So while building the projects, they could each give their own unique ideas, which were really helpful for us to build a project um, addressing every kind of issues. Besides that, I would say that the subjects that are covered in this course, they really help you discover new things. For example, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Shiva. So right now I'm working in INEST, which is Interconnected Nord-Est Innovazione, which is an organization that works in developing the digital competencies of communities living in mountain ecosystems in northern Italy. So we are working on different approaches to improve the digital competency of people who live in mountain ecosystems. So as a part of that research, we do different methodologies like games, VR, 360 videos. So now I can probably give a better understanding of why I mentioned this is the fact that when I came to this course, I had a different expectation of what I'm going to learn. But in addition to that, I also learned other interests and passions of mine that I had not expected. For example, the projects that we did in educational technology and social interaction, like building games, that kind of helped me discover my passion for like building interactive experiences and games. And that led me to an internship that I did during my master's, and that internship led to a job. So when I was studying, I had not probably planned that it will it all the things will happen like this. But when you look back, those dots connect together. So I would say that this course, as Martina mentioned, that is very practical and it has a lot of projects. So that kind of help you build your portfolio, which would be really helpful in showing the companies that you're applying for all the work that you have done and all the knowledge that you have gained. So I think this was one of the learning experiences that I really wanted to share, because right now I'm working on a project which is very much closely related to games. And before this master's, I had not worked in game development. So the courses that you learn through this master's open new avenues for you as well. Besides that, in my current work, I conduct a lot of UX research, and the courses such as quantitative research and qualitative research that you go through in this course really help you get a strong foundation in that as well. and not just the theoretical part, because studying UX research in theory and applying it in practice is very two different things. There are a lot of things that happen when you deal with participants, and unfortunate circumstances that happen as well. So in addition to the theory, it also gives you soft skills as well, on how to carry out a UX research study, how to deal with participants, how to talk with them, and try to get the best research data from them. And besides that, yeah, this course, I think, as well, I would like to mention that one of the courses of Professor Zancanaro, which was on prototyping, where as a final assessment, we had a challenge to design like 50 micro interactions. I think that exercise really gave me a good grasp of Figma, the tool, which is really useful right now, because all the things that I make, I prototype them in Figma. So I feel like all the courses, they are a good challenge for you. They are a good avenue for learning new things and to explore your interests. That's all I had to say. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you. There was one question for you, and then I think we can say, I will say something about the admission. There was some question in the chat, but please, Faiz,
Yeah,
you want to?
it's Faiz here, and I have a
Hello.
question from Shiva. During your journey during the masters in Toronto,
Yeah.
so what was your basically, I would say, like the procedure of like getting into an internship after like doing a master's, and what experience and how hard it is to get an internship, and how hard it is to find an internship here in like in Italy, like what?
Well, during my, I mean, I did actually two internships. One that I did during the masters as a part of my requirement for the masters credits itself, and one that I did after. So the company that I had worked for, it was like an online car auction company that was in Germany. So getting that, I think Professor Zancanaro helped as well, because the SCI course, they conduct a lot of like, I don't know what is the right word, but like they bring in companies and other institutions where you could do your internships. So it gives you a way to connect with potential employers and people who can provide internships. So that was a way. And during the internship, I think they appreciated my work. They liked the work that I did. So they, from their side, they requested that if you want to do a thesis with us as well, you could do so. So I did my internship and my thesis with the same company as well. And even after graduating, I think the projects that I did during the student years, that portfolio helped me land another internship. So I would say by the end of the course, you would have a lot of student projects which are really useful in getting an internship.
Yeah, we are not.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are not going to find the internship for you, but as Shiva was saying, we try to bring companies, I mean, to get opportunity to get in touch with the companies. Okay, thanks, Shiva, and thanks, Martina. For just a few words, because there were some questions about the background and the selection. So our program is built around this combination between computer science and psychology, sociology. So but then we don't have any strong requirements, okay? But we want to try to bring together classes that are well motivated and can work together, because we believe that interdisciplinarity means that people, of course, we think that the courses are important, but we also think that peer interaction is a fundamental aspect of our master. So I can't give you the magic formula to get admitted, so how to build your portfolio, how to build your presentation. My suggestion is try to be yourself. So the point is for us, is to try, not necessarily to get the best people. I mean, we cannot judge you how best you are. Well, we can try to see whether you are the best fitted in our perspective and in the class. Of course, we can be wrong sometimes. I mean, we will never know. But this is our idea. Try to find the people that are the right motivation, the right curriculum, and the right attitude to work together in this very specific perspective. So we are not the only one HCI master in Europe, but we have a unique perspective on cognitive and social science plus computer science. If you're interested in visual design, there are several other masters that maybe are even better than us in this respect for the visual design. And also, if you come from computer science, you are welcome. We like computer science students, but it's not a master on computer science. But of course, computer scientists, there's a lot of people with a background in engineering and computer science. So the letter and the video are something up to you. So we don't have any schema. We don't have a limit to the GPA. Of course, the GPA is important, so will be evaluated, assessed in some way. But since you are coming from very different situations all over the world, we consider also this. I mean, in some places, a high GPA, I mean, as a different meaning from other places, of course. The recommendation letter, again, are important, will be weighted against others, I mean, together with other things. We believe that for you to be able to get a professor or writing you a recommendation letter is an achievement. It means that you have worked with a professor, are able to show yourself. And again, in this way is important. I don't know, Martina, there is something I missed about these very sensitive topics or how we rank the...
No, you didn't miss anything. I would just invite those of you who will decide to apply or have already decided to apply to provide clear application. So clarity in your application it's very important, and try to get us all the documents that we request. You don't need to get more than what we request, but just the ones that we request, okay? So pay attention to the list of documents that is requested. Language is one thing that is very, very, very important. So if you're asked to have a language certificate, please provide it on time. not later on. As for the video, we have seen videos that are 1.5 minutes long and 5 minutes long. So try to be, as Professor Zancanaro said, try to be natural in your videos and try to let us know what motivates you for applying for this master.
Okay, just a last word about portfolio. We don't ask explicitly a portfolio because some people coming from psychology or cognitive science do not have a portfolio. If you have one, we are happy to see the portfolio. We're more interested in your problem solving rather than your visual skills, but still a portfolio is interesting. Okay, so maybe Dr. Dell'Orco wants to say something about the mission, but I don't think that there are specific aspects. For the grants and the waiver of the fees, it's a matter of ranking, how high you are. And there are some, I mean, the exact number of grants this year, I think are four.
Yeah.
Four. Okay, this year we have 4 grants.
Scholarships, yeah.
Scholarship, yes. Sure.
Yeah. No, I guess there is nothing further to be added to what you say, your professor and the students. Of course, we kindly recommend that you thoroughly read the call for application. All the information are included in the call for applications and, of course, on the web pages of the master course.
Yeah.
And remember the deadline, March 6, noon.
Yeah.
So please meet the deadline, otherwise
The deadline and also the procedure to fill your registration should not be sending an email to us or to the Secretariat office, but use the website to upload the document. Okay, send an email if you want to. I mean, if you have doubts, but
yeah, maybe I would explain something more regarding applicants and candidates who will not have acquired the bachelor title till before the deadline. Remember, there is this further deadline, very strict deadline, the end of June. So by the end of June, you will be required to submit proof of your bachelor degree acquired, okay? No beyond this date, beyond this deadline. Remember this. The same goes for the language, English language requirement. Mid of June is the late deadline in order to give proof and to send proof of having acquired the certification at least of B2 level for be admitted.
okay, just shortly for Ada. We don't have requirements about mathematics or other things, but again, because of our perspective, computer science and psychology background are valued and are important. So if it is part of your background, we see it. If you took other external courses, just tell us in your CV. You should not ask for tuition waiver. The tuition waiver for non-European students depends on the ranking. If you, for non-European students that are students now in Italy, are considered a European equivalent. This is again for you, Michele. So,
sorry, I missed it.
I'm a student in Italy now. Will I be considered as an European equivalent?
If you are permanently resident in Italy as an European student, but permanently resident in Italy, okay, you need to apply. You're supposed to apply for the on the application for European students. Only if you are permanent resident in Italy.